Welcome back to the class today. We're going to be doing a yoga, emphasizing balancing, doing some vinyasas. So we're going to have a great time. Just take your time, add some modifications for those who's taking it a little easier, but just having fun. There's no expectation. Just be yourself, and most important, breathe. So let's start for now, sitting in a comfortable seated position. And we're going to take our time to warm up, start with our wrists. So you take your arms forward, and then having your fists, making a fist, just make some circles in either direction. And then let's take it the opposite direction. Start relaxing your shoulders. Just find still and then take a deep breath in. And then just bring our right palm right in the center. And we're just going to start giving a good stretch in our wrist, that right wrist. So not being too much pressure on the back of your palm. Just starting to breathe and relax your shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Filling the spine nice and long, and then breathing out, keep that integrity of your spine. And then let's flip our palm facing up and taking your left palm into your right hand and feeling that stretch right there in that nice upper tongue stretch. And then let's give it a shake. Before we repeat the other side, let's take a deep breath in, reaching our palm over our head in a prayer. And the next breath out, bring your hands in front of your heart. Let's repeat the opposite side. First, let's extend the arms shoulder height. So make some rotation with your wrists. Getting some good mobilization. Again. And then we take it the opposite way. Then let's find stillness, bringing your shoulders down your back. And then let's press the left palm, fingertips down toward your mat. Taking your right palm, the back of your left hand, and take a deep breath in. And breathing out, letting go. Anything that don't concern you in this moment. Flip your palm the opposite way. Fingertips up toward the ceiling, and take a breath in and slightly press, not too hard, be a little gentle. Breathe into that stretch, the left wrist. And then let's release, let's give a little shake. And take your palms by your side, take a deep breath in. And then let's reach our arms out to the side and give our palms into a prayer. Overhead. And the next breath out. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a moment to set an intention. Something meaningful. Something powerful. Take a deep breath in. Again, reach your palms overhead. And stretch to the sides of your waist. And as we breathe out, let's bring our palms and let's start warming up our core. I use a block sometimes because when I first started doing my practice, my hips are really tight. So feel free to use a block or a brick, a book. If you're if you can't reach a block right away to sit on top of it, or you can use a pillow or a towel. So again, we're going to be working on warming our abs. So bring your feet flat, bring your hands behind your thighs, and then draw your lower back in, tucking your tail, relax your shoulders. Just feeling something here. If you want to go a little bit more, you can start lifting your toes, your feet, off the floor, having your shin bones, your ankles in line with your knees. And take a deep breath in, and a breath out. Let's bring our feet down to the floor and just give ourselves some love. Rounding in. On the next breath in, we're going to extend the spine, lifting the crown of the head to the sky. Relax your shoulders. So we'll go 2 more different variations, warming up our core. So, in. Bring your hands behind your thighs, finding boat pose, bringing your shins in line with your knees. And if you want to go a little bit more, a little different variation, release your fingertips toward your toes. Breathe in, and breathing out. So let's release our feet. And again, your hands, give yourself a hug, bring your arms around your shin bones. Let's try one more time, adding a little bit with the arms and the legs this time. Extend the spine, sit up tall. And then you can stay here, or if you want to go a little bit more, finding your modified boat pose with your hands behind your thighs. If you want to go a little bit more, let's extend the fingertips toward the toes. And if you're seeking to get a little bit more challenge, feeling the connected in the core, extend your knees, reach for your toes, and breathe for 1. Breathing out. Breathe in for the second breath. Let's breathing out. Let's take one more breath in. A little shaking. And let's get out of here. Let's exhale, cross your ankles. And let's come onto our hands and knees. Finding the mobility in the spine. A little bit more with a cat and cow. So finding our knees in line with our hips. Relax your toes, shoulders in line with your wrists. And let's take our outer in your elbows. Let's reach them toward the thighs. So you feel your shoulder blades on your back. Let's take a deep breath in, lift your tailbone, release your abdominals, your chest through your arms. Take a breath in. Exhale. Round. Tucking your tail. Finding that round 2 more times. Inhale. Finding that C curve. You can look up. Exhale, round. Send the C curve in the opposite direction. Tucking your tail. One more time. Take an inhale. And let's exhale, finding neutral spine. Let's warm up the shoulders. Let's take our fingertips a little bit off the mat, a few inches. Elbows are slightly bent. Knees stay in line with your hips. So we're going to drop the right shoulder, and we're going to scrape it around toward the left fingers. And then take your left shoulders, cross it over toward the right, around your spine. Let's try that one more time. So we're like sliding, scraping the shoulders, feeling that mobility there. And then release your right shoulder, take it over toward the right, round. Let's try the opposite direction. So you take your left shoulder toward the right and scrape it toward the left. Round it, and then go back to the opposite. Back to the right, round. One more time. Don't right or wrong way. We're just kind of getting some mobility in the shoulder. Sometimes it may feel a little awkward, but you're doing fine. So bringing your hands in line with your wrists in line with your shoulders, and we're going to go into mobilizing the hips a little more. So we're going to take the hips over toward your right, your left, sleeve it toward the right, and come to middle, and then round it toward the left. So let's do 2 more cycles like that, and just breathe. Relax your head, relax your neck, just warming up. Come back to center. Let's switch the hips to the left, to the center, and round. Do one more time. Moving toward the left. Just let your head relax. Try to get the tension. Good way to start our practice Just kind of letting our body move in space. So from here, we're gonna find our puppy pose. So get a little bit isometric stretch. So here's a place we're gonna bring our chest down. Chin toward the mat, maybe your forehead touch. Soften your elbows and take a deep breath in. Feeling the rib cage expand. And then an exhale, sinking toward the earth. Get a little bit more relaxation. One more time, inhale. And let's exhale. So let's slightly lift our spine up our chest from the mat. And then let's slide your hands back. Big toes touch, finding child's pose. This is an opportunity to sit still, find a deeper breath. So when we start our vinyasas and we feel like we don't want to take a break, we always have this space in our practice to find child's pose. Be composed. Take a breath in. Expand the breath into the back of your lungs, and then exhale, relax. Let's find our all-four position. Knees in line with the hips, shoulders in line with the wrists. Let's walk your knees slightly back. Just about an inch. Curl the toes and find our first downward facing dog in this flow, this practice. Not a very perfect down dog or whatever. We always find imperfection anyway. So we're going to have our knees slightly bent. So maybe our hamstrings and not quite warmed up. And then let's bend one heel down and then the other. It's like swivel your hips a little to one side. And breathe. Spreading the fingers wide. And from here we're finding stillness. And again, it's not a perfect downward facing dog, the first one in our practice. And you're feeling the ears between the biceps, keeping the sit bones high, maybe the knees are slightly bent a little much. Just getting your body accustomed and adjusted. So let's look between our hands, and we're going to walk toward the front of the mat. Rooting down toward our feet. Hands can be on our thighs or our shin. And we're going to spread our toes, and let's round up, rooting the feet toward the mat, articulating, stacking the bones up, one vertebrae at a time. Excuse me, I'm getting warm. Sometimes when we start our practice, just breathing and get the blood flow warmed up. So we're going to start moving. We're going to start this time just to warm up the spine, 3 different variations. So let's take a deep breath in, reach our fingertips up and over. And then as we exhale, let's hinge from our hips. Knees can be slightly bent. And let's bend our knees a lot so our fingertips touch the mat. And then let's step 1 foot back at a time, finding a modified plank position. Tops of the feet to the mat. As we inhale, we're going to slightly bring our shoulders slightly past our fingertips. Bring your elbows towards your side and come all the way down. Let's warm up the spine a little more. Let's take a breath in, slide our hands down the sides of your ribs. Elbows, side of the arm bones, the shoulders, elbows are toward each other. Feeling the energy there. Neck is nice and long. So we're going to come into a hand-free Cobra pose, if that's available for you today. So breathing in, keep your toes pressed down, pubic bone touch the mat, and maybe lift your head, look down the tip of your nose. Take a breath in, and a breathe out. So let's breathe our hands, lift our back, and let's take a quick dip in child's pose. We inhale, we're finding our down, from transition into downward facing dog for all fours, and then maybe you can extend your knees a little bit more. Tailbone tilted toward the sky. Breathing in. Exhale, we come into a full plank or a modified plank if you're taking a little bit easier. From here, we can go into On the field plank, we can tip our shoulders past our toes, fingertips, and then if you want, keeping your modified position, lower your belly toward the mat. Tops of the feet pressing down. Neck is nice and long. Let's extend our arms this time. Thumb pressing up toward the sky. We inhale, just the upper body moves, the arms and the shoulders. Bottom rib cage down. Feet through the toes, stay down toward the mat. Looking down the tip of your nose, in. Breathe out, release. Slide your hands back in. And finding our child's pose. Just a little quick move, rest. If you want to stay longer, or if you're not, follow me. From all fours, we're going to move back into downward facing dog. Release. Lift your sit bones. Take a breath in. Let's move forward into a modified plank or full plank. Come over, shoulders over your fingertips. Breathing out, all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet flat. Neck stay long. Extend your arms. Fingertips, thumbs toward the mat. Let's breathe in. Then we can come upper body. And if you want to come a little further, engage your glutes, your outer ankle bones pressing toward each other, and lift your legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let's release. Slide your hands back. Breathe in. Press your palms onto the mat and find a little bit of a rest in child's pose. Take a breath in here and exhale. Feel a little bit more relaxed, letting go. Letting go tension from your shoulders. And we're going to find that transition from an all-four position back into downward facing dog. Heels toward the mat. Let's take a deep breath in. Feel that sit bones reaching up as you root your feet and your hands onto the mat. Moving forward, look between your hands. We're going to walk, step, or lightly jump to the top of our mat. Breathe in, then let's exhale. So relax your neck. So from here, if you want to stay into a forward fold, if you want to follow me, lift your pinch fingers up to the ceiling and then hook your big toe. We breathe in. Knees can be slightly bent or bent a lot, and the elbows out toward your side. And breathing in. With your knees bent, you feel a nice release in your low back. Shoulders stay relaxed. Your neck and your head is very, very relaxed. So from here, we're going to come into halfway, extend the spine, inhale, and then exhale, fold. Let's try our first balance pose. So we're going to take the left hand to the right hand to the right hip and your left hand behind your left thigh. So we're going to shift your weight to your right foot and engage your abdominals and flex your left foot, and maybe you can help to bring your left leg up, the left hand there. Hold here for a deep breath in. Maybe finding something that's not moving, something that's still for you to just take a little thrifty, a little focal point. Maybe extend your right arm up. Breathe in. Exhale, maybe your left hand come up. Breathe in. Root your right foot. Maybe lift that left foot up, knee a little bit higher, and find high lunge pose. Take your time. Finding something that's hardly moving. Tuck your tailbone so the back knee is slightly bent. The palms can touch, or they can be shoulder width apart. And if you extend the back knee, we're going to extend it if the back knee is bent, but the tailbone stay tucked. Breathe in. And the next breath out, we're going to face each other, and come into warrior two. So we're opening up that right knee. If you want to go a little deeper, that's an option. From warrior two, let's flip our palm, our front palm. Let's find exalted warrior. Keeping that front knee bent as much as you can. And we're going to tilt it back and over. Breathing in. Breathing out, maybe sink a little deeper. Don't let that front knee go past the toes, your front toes. From here, we can find that warrior two. Once again, finding side angle. Bending your front elbow. If you want to go a little bit more. We've been here before with other yoga practice we have, finding our modified side angle. We'll have 3 different variations of this, so you can get an opportunity. The next flow, the next second flow, we'll add a little more challenge. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to find a twist. Look down on your front foot. And the top hand coming down in front of your right foot. Left hand, bend the left knee. Finding the twist, tops of the feet to the mat. Taking your right hand on your right glute and feel that hand and glute connection. And you want to really root down in your front big toe. So if you want to go into a twist, you can start twisting. And if it's available, looking back over your left shoulder. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Or a side angle, modified for the first flow. Again, we're going to pivot that left knee and left heel in line with the left knee. And the left hand slightly come in, stand in line with your left wrist. And flip, taking your right foot. Finding that outer edge connection. Your big toe, with the balls of your feet, the heel onto the mat, and extending your right arm up. Breathe. Really your rib cage come between your arms. Take a deep breath out. Release the top hand. Finding yourself placed in the front of the mat, modified or unmodified plane. Moving forward. Inhale, shoulders over your fingertips, and we can go into chaturanga. Shoulders in your hips, elbows in one line. Take an inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Again, you can do your modified. And then exhale. Finding child's pose or downward facing dog. Lifting the sit bones up, toward the sky, toward your heels, toward the mat on or off. Squeeze the muscles around your kneecaps. Breathe in, lift your sit bones. Breathe out, bend your knees between your thumbs. Walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. So let's inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Shake your head no, nod a yes. Bring your hands to your shin or your thighs. Or if you're coming with me, we're gonna use our peace finger. And we're gonna maybe a little bit something different than the first time. Maybe the knees are bent a little bit more. Maybe they extended. The elbows are reaching out a little bit more. So you're finding that forward fold. Releasing the tension in your low back. Feeling the stretching of the hamstrings. And breathe and relax your head, your neck. Inhale, come halfway up. Lengthen the spine. This time we're going to balance onto your left foot. Right hand on your hip. And then here, press into the root your the other foot. Left hand on your hip. And then right hand going to go behind your right thigh. Spread your left toes and engage your abdominals. Flex that right foot to assist the hand to assist you up. Breathe. A little bit wobbly. And extend your left arm. Take the next breath. Extend your right arm. Maybe lift the knee a little higher. Take a breath in. Exhale. Let's get out of here. Bend that front knee. Tuck your tail. Reach. Press and lunge. If your knee is slightly bent, maybe you can extend it. But keep your tailbone tucked. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Outer hip bone squeezing toward the middle. On our next breath out, let's open up to find warrior two. We sink a little bit more. And let's breathe into this stretch. Finding our exalted warrior. Flip your front palm, lower your back fingertips onto the leg, and we'll stretch the left rib cage. Breathe into the right, left intercostal muscles. Breathe in, finding warrior two. Maybe sink a little bit more. And let's go into modify. Have the top forearm, left forearm onto your thigh, right arm reaching up. Breathe. Let's breathe out. We're going to turn to the center. So we're on the balls of our toes. Again, let's modify. We'll get an opportunity to take the high press and lunge. Again, the left hand on your hip. Take a breath in. Press and root your left big toe as you can maybe twist a little. You open space in your low back to free that up. Breathe. Still with the modified version, we're going to go into side plank. So we're going to pivot. We're going to have our knee, bottom knee in line with the ankle, and then release, extend the left foot. So tuck your tail. And then once you root that back foot, the edge of that back foot onto the mat, maybe extend that left arm and breathe. From here, we're going to find unmodified or modified plank. Looking down, release your hand, and let's move. Take a breath in. Exhale, coming forward onto your tippy toes. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga, tops of the toes. Rolling up, upward facing dog. Again, you can take your Cobra pose. Onto your toes if you want to go into a little bit of a dip. Try that. And then downward facing dog. So we did two sides with the modified version. From here, we're going to come into dolphin pose. Maybe you want to bring your knees, or you can bring one forearm with your knees extended and the other one on the mat. Okay. Take your measurements here, spread your palms, then we lift our knees. You can walk your feet in a little bit in. So you're going to feel that your elbows are toward each other. Feel that energy. So your top of your head is not onto the mat. Let's breathe for 3. Inhale. And let's breathe out. Next breath in. And exhale. One more breath here. And let's have our big toes, our heels to touch, and then our big toes, and finding ourselves into child's pose. Just to reset, regroup, maybe stack your hands one at a time, letting your forehead rest as a pillow. Find a deeper breath. When you're ready, we all meet into downward facing dog. From all fours. And notice the difference in this downward facing dog when we have our warm up and our first balance pose. Maybe feel more space. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees, look between your thumbs. Walk, step up to the front of the mat. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, fold. There's another variation. We're going to take our arms up and hands. Gather that energy here into our heart, finding mountain pose. Let's try the other variation from forward fold. Take a breath in, reach your arms up and towards the sky. Exhale, fold in from your hips. Breathing in, hands to be your thighs or your shin. And from here, if you're coming with me, let's give our wrists a massage. So we're going to take our hands right underneath our toes, as close as we can get to our wrist. And we're going to feel our ribs and our thighs touching. The knees can be bent, but you want to make sure your shoulders, your head is relaxed as much as you can. Breathe. Take a breath in, slightly come forward. Exhale, fold. Now to get out of this pose, let's lift one hand out at a time. And here we go in our forward fold. For our next balance, starting with our right leg, balancing on the right, bring your hand to your right hip, and your hand, both hands can be on your left thigh. And if you feel that connection, root that right foot, then come on up. Take your time. From here, we breathe in, reaching your left palm up, arm up. Bend the elbow, maybe you can bring your left elbow in between the hip creases. Slightly bring your left palm there. Okay, is it something that's not moving? Maybe taking your right arm up, take a breath in. And then exhale. Maybe your left arm want to come up. Maybe you can bring that knee up a little bit more, and let's come into a high lunge. From here, bend your back knee, open your heart up towards the ceiling. Gold pulse arms. Take a breath in, tuck your tail. Palms can touch, our arms shoulder width apart. Next breath in, open up, warrior two. Relax your shoulders, maybe go in a little bit deeper. Find our gold pulse arms, bend your elbows. Breathe in. Keep your front knee open. Exhale. Keep your shoulder relaxed. Next breath in, extend your elbow. Find your exalted warrior. Flip the front palm, and then maybe go a little bit deeper. If you want it with more energy, maybe you can bend your top elbow and bring your top palm into your low back and breathe. Keep that top knee. So don't let your front knee come in toward the middle. Take it out, so open that right hip. On the next breath in, extend your top arm, finding the side angle. So modify the front knee, elbow, forearm facing onto that top thigh. And you can take the top arm off. Here, if you want to go a little bit more, you can take the top arm over by your side of your ear, your left ear. Opening up your heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, look down between your hands. And let's release that top hand. So your back knee can go down and extend the ball of your back foot. Take your back hand to your hip so that inner left shoulder in toward your right knee. Press your right big toe down and come into a twist. Breathe in. Exhale, twist a little deeper, maybe a millimeter more. Find a modified side plank. Bring your top hand to your hip. Lower your back knee. So we're pivoting, ankle on the knee, back bottom shoulder in line with the wrist, and then taking your back hand down. And then you feel the outer edge of that back foot. Slightly squeeze that back glute, then lift your top arm. And if you want to take the top arm overhead, so you go deeper in your stretch. You want to go a little bit more, engage your glutes to lift that leg. So you're reaching your top arm toward the front wall, your back foot toward the back, and the knee and that foot, the bottom knee and the hand, is keeping you connected to the earth. Breathe. It's a modified side angle. From here, you can lower that bottom foot, or if you're coming with me, you can leave it up, the top leg up. Uncurl your pat toes so you can stay with the first version of a modified plank, or both feet on the floor are one. Take a breath in, bring your knee toes on your tippy toes, and then exhale, chaturanga. Both feet to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, maybe find a dip here, and lift the sit bones, downward facing dog. Breathe. Let's try the second variation. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift between your hands, walk step, or hop to the front of the mat. Breathe in, fold, and then come it up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Checking in. Let's do the opposite side. Inhale, reach your arm up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway. Again, we can go with a wrist massage. Maybe go a little bit deeper than before, making you feel your body like a sandwich. Knees can be a little bit more bent, or they can be extended. Take an inhale, lifting your spine. Look slightly forward. Let's release one hand at a time. Breathe in and exhale. Then balancing on the left foot. Left hand to the hip. Lift the right heel. Or if you want to come a little bit more, spread your left toes. Flexing that right foot. Bring it up. And slightly bring our hand here. We can open it up. Bring the out. Next breath in, maybe your left arm reaching to the ceiling, the right fingertips, and then here's the right fingertips joining the left. Breathe in here. Let's bring that knee into the middle, take a breath in, and then let's finding high lunge. Tuck your tail, low pulse arms, clasp your heart toward the sky. Inhale, tuck your tail, palms don't have to touch. Next breath out, open up, warrior two. Maybe a little bit deeper. Low pulse arms, take a breath in. Exhale, extend the elbows. Breathe in, flip your top palm, exalted warrior. You want to bend that elbow, that's fine. That's fine. Warrior two. And then from here, we're gonna flip your tongue. We're gonna go here, we're gonna bring your hand here, or if you take your top arm over here, go out here. You can stay here, or you can take the top or bottom arm to meet the top and go a little bit deeper. Whew. Take a breath in, exhale, finding a twist. Back knee to the mat, stay on the ball of the back foot, and then maybe you can rotate and twist. Breathe in. From here, you can lower the back knee, flip, modified plank, release your top palm down, and then lifting up that arm. Breathe in, maybe engage. You can lift your left leg up, and then take the top arm overhead. Breathe into this stretch. You can lower that top leg, or if you want to come with me, with a one-legged plank. Or with both knees on the mat. Take a breath in. Then sleekly come forward. Exhale, bend the elbows. Release both toes if the top one is up. Take a breath in. Upward facing. Exhale if you want to add a dip. And finding our downward facing dog with dolphin pose again. You can lower both knees to the mat, or you can bring one elbow down. This time, let's make a fist. So interlace the fingers, making sure your elbows in line with your shoulders, and then maybe walk your feet a little bit more. Again, we're not resting our head onto the mat. Take a breath in, exhale. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Release your knees out to the side, big toes touch, and let's make a pillow. Stacking one palm on top of the other. Take a deep breath in. And we have more space for one more flow, finding our downward facing dog. Now we're more comfortable in our downward facing dog than the first one. Breathing in, breathing out, lift your knees, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Take a breath in, exhale, fold. And this forward fold, maybe we can bring our hands back behind our shins. Elbows are kind of reaching toward each other just for the energy. Probably never touch. And then we can fold a little bit deeper. Let's take a breath in, lengthen your spine halfway, and then exhale, fold. So we're balancing on the right foot. Bring your right hand to your hip, and then bring your left hand behind your left thigh. Stretch your left toes. Maybe coming up all the way. This is one a little bit tricky here. This time breathe in, reach your right arm. And if you can, take your right hand and touch it to the top of your thigh, left thigh. Take your left hand forward. Engage your abdominals, and then take your arm back. You can look forward, or you can look back at your left hand. Where your balance is. Take your time. If you fall off the pose, that's fine. Come back. Extend your back hand up, and let's twist the spine to the center. Take your top arm up. Breathe in. And let's exhale. Find the neck crescent lunge. Bend your elbow, no pulse arm, hard reach up towards the sky. And this time we're going to bring our arms together, make a prayer, taking our hands back behind our head, and lift up. Take an inhale, extend the arms, open up, warrior two. Low pulse arms, bottom, front elbow underneath the back. Bring your hand in, and then inhale. Let's release our arms away from our face. Keep the front knee bent. Let's release, finding space. Exalted warrior, lift the top palm, and then we're gonna reach over, bend, side bend. Again, if you wanna bend the elbow, take your hand back between the shoulder blades. If you wanna go a little bit more, take your bottom hand to the steel of your low back. We're not binding, we're just bending the elbows and tilting the spine. Breathing in, reach your top arm. Exhale, finding side angle. Again, the forearm here, top arm overhead. And if you want to go a little deeper, root in the back foot, equal balance on your front, and stretch the sides of your ribs. Breathe in, look down between your hands. So you're gonna take your hands between your foot, and we're gonna go chiropractic. We're gonna come to the outer edge of your bottom foot in your back, and then we're gonna open to stretch the hips, open. Inhale, extend your top arm. So you're gonna come into a side plank, modified or unmodified. We take both feet together, and we're gonna make an arch, maybe top arm overhead. Look down, take a breath in, finding plank. Modified or unmodified. Coming forward on your tippy toes, exhale, chaturanga. Tops of the feet to the back. Inhale, heart between your arms. Exhale, baby dip. Finding downward facing dog. Notice the difference again as we get more comfortable in the position. Take a breath in, lift the sit bones, exhale, bend your knees, step off or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's take our hands behind our shin. Give ourselves a hug one more time. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Little bit of squeeze with no space, no light between your thighs and your ribs. Relax your neck. Take an inhale, halfway. Breathe in. And then we're going to balance and shift the weight on the left foot. No, the right foot here, I'm sorry. So grab hand on the head, on that left foot, and let's help ourselves to breathe that. Breathe on the right leg up. Once you steady, you can stay here, or if you want to go into your twist, take your left arm up, and then bring it on the left, right thigh. Take your right hand, take a breath in, and we can twist it. So you take the hand back. If you want, you can look back behind, if you have a balance. Some days it's fine, some days it's not. You feel a little shaky, but that's fine. Wait till your body open up, and if you take the top arm up, and we can bring your shoulder, bring it back to center, take your left arm up, bring that knee in toward the chest level, and then step it back. High lunge, exhausted. Open your heart. Let's bring it palms together. Stay in here. If you want to take a prayer with your heart toward the ceiling. Inhale, reach your arms up. And let's come into finding that warrior two. The last one in this flow. Take a breath in. Roll both arms. Exhale. Your left elbow underneath the right. The next breath in, we're going to release your arms. Feel that stretch on your upper back. Sink a little lower if you can. Inhale, release your arms. Exalted warrior, flip the front palm, front palm. Exhale, leaning back. You want to go a little deeper. Bring your hand to your low back, your top hand, and your bottom hand. Just going to be to your low back. Working the arms. Inhale, reach your left arm, finding warrior two. Exhale, side angle, modified or unmodified. Top arm overhead. And if you want to go a little bit more, maybe reaching the bottom or lower. Breathe. Exhale, come to the balls of your back foot. Release your hands. Breathing in. Maybe make adjustments with your foot if you need. Top arm overhead for a twist. Chiropractic twist. Coming to the edge, your outer edge of your feet, and you're going to look back. So you're going to open up your hip, your bottom hip. And then from here, your side plank. Either way that feels comfortable. And that's at this moment. Maybe the top leg stack over the bottom, arch. Maybe here, with the top arm overhead. And if you fall out, that's fine. No condemnation, no competition, no expectation. Look down between your hands. Coming back forward on your plank, modified or unmodified, bend your elbows. Top of the feet to the mat, upward facing dog. Flip your toes. Exhale, maybe take a leap in cold water. And let's find downward facing dog. Ooh, take a breath in here. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Let's release. Let's come into a child's pose. Maybe you want to have the tops of the palms facing here. And find your deeper breath. From here, we're going to come all the way up, roll up. Maybe you're going to release one leg toward the side. Let's go into an inner thigh stretch before I have you into your final relaxation. So we might come to the long edge of our mat and then open the legs where it feels comfortable for you. The toes can be up. So I like to come where I have my heels and my feet onto the mat. Maybe your glutes can be onto a towel. I got myself sitting on a pad. And then quick breath in, soften your knees. Exhale, you can fold. So you're gonna keep the integrity of your spine. Maybe reach for your shin, your thighs. Take a breath in. Exhale, you can come a little forward. Now some of you might lower your forehead to the mat. So you're gonna feel that good release into your low back. then slowly coming up, stacking one bone at a time. Engage your abdominals. Let's come back to the low edge of our mat. And we can come into our final relaxation. So if you, with me, you can come here. Have your shoulders, fingertips, shoulders in line with your wrists, reach your fingertips forward. And we're gonna round the spine, lower one bone down at a time. The feet, it's okay if they come off the mat. So in our final rest, we just surrender. And we're gonna, let's release our toes toward the corner of our mat and release our palms. And our arms gonna be slightly away from the sides of our body. Our palms are facing up. So you're just gonna just surrender. So you're just gonna take a few moments and stand in child's pose as long as you have the space. I might go quiet, but I would like for you to just surrender, allowing your breathing, the control breath, just to kind of just relax. Don't focus on breathing in. Just let your body breathe like you do when you fall asleep. So just letting go of all your effort. And if you have space to stay longer, you stay in child's pose. But always give yourself at least 5 minutes to just let go. So you can integrate all the benefits of your movements of your practice. You're ready to, like I said, if you have more space, you can stay, close your eyes and take a longer break in Savasana. But if you want to awaken, start moving your toes and your fingers, and then bring your palms together and rub your hands. And then take a breath in and reach your arms overhead. And we exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. And you can rock up and forward, back and forward, until we find a comfortable seated position to end our practice. So in a comfortable position, let's take our arms out by our side, moving our sit bones down toward the mat, and inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. And let's bow our heads to our hearts of hearts. And thank you for coming to practice today. Namaste.